Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Today is part 6 in our marketing automation migration. We've covered the why, what we chose, the inventory and backup in the last couple episodes. We did tracking codes, we did email service. Last thing that we need to really get in place in order to get the system up and running is getting the thank you email and the associated processes set up to let people know, thanks for signing up for this email list, and then we can start our testing process in the next episode. So today, let's get into these templates. The way a marketing automation system works is that we need to take an action, a tracking action, which is normally a form of submission. I've subscribed to your newsletter, score it, assign some points to it, and then fire off an email to it. So let's do that in sequence. We need to manage, we need to create the email, to have the email. We need to create the trigger, assign the points, and then perform the action. The first thing we'll do is we'll go, if you remember from episode 3, you made a backup of all of our stuff, the lists, the tracking, templates, and all that stuff. And for this time, I want to use the welcome email. I'm going to open that up here in my text editor. This is an email that is, it's an older template. I'm not really thrilled with it. So what I want to do is I want to trim this down and get it to be just the bare bones. Now, if you don't currently have either a strong text editor or like Adobe Dreamweaver, you can download an app called Blue Griffin that is pretty good for editing stuff. I'm comfortable editing in straight HTML, but if you're not, you want to look into Blue Griffin, which you can get at bluegriffin.org. It is a free text editor. It's open source and it's cross-platform. So if you need something to edit a light web page, or in this case email, it's a terrific package to add on. But I'll just hack into the code directly here. So I'm going to clear out all the old style sheet stuff. I don't really need any of that. I don't need the style sheet up top there. And let's make this a little bit easier to read. And now we should have a decent number of pieces here. We don't need this entire section here at the bottom. It seems unnecessary. But let's take a look at how we're doing so far. That's looking a little bit better. So there's my unsubscribe. Yep, and I don't think I need that subscription notice section up top. That looks kind of silly. So we'll take out that entire row in the table. And there's a few little lines here that probably should take those into Dreamweaver and clean them up. But for right now, that's okay. Probably should take out the Google Plus reference since that's just silly. And change that to Instagram instead. Let's take a look at the spacers, because it looks like the spacers were kind of mangled. These are I don't actually need a logo either. Let's see. That looks good. And then I want to change the text to that at the end there. Just tune it up a little. Okay, so we've got HTML now ready for the system. So let's close this down, close out that. Let's put a template in Mautic. We're going to go to email, and this is going to be a template email. Thank you for and we can take the raw HTML, should be able to just inject this directly. Yep. And there you can see, even in this editor, if we wanted to, we could do a little bit of cleanup in here. Like, I want to get that out of that box. There's no need for a table box to be there. Make that a header. Make that paragraph. And we're going to take out the premium content stuff for right now because I'm not 100% sure that this system will support it yet. Okay, now I think we're in very good condition here. We're going to call this welcome email. This falls in the category of email marketing. We have our unsubscribe form, and we'll auto generate our plain text version. Take a look at our advanced stuff. Do we need to configure any of this? We can. Okay, we've got that saved. We can now save and close. So now we have our template email. The next thing we need to do is set up triggers and stuff for this. So the last time we set up these general scores, we also want to set up a score just for someone who has filled out these email subscribe form. So let's do subscribed to newsletter. We'll make this 10 points. When a lead submits a form, and we want to specify the newsletter form, again, this is going to be the email marketing category. So we've got basically a scoring mechanism that as soon as someone's email enters the system, we'll give them 10 points. And that is something that we want to be able to do in order to fire off that template email we just created. So we're going to create that trigger. It says send welcome email. We want them to have those 10 points. We do not want to trigger existing applicable, or we're going to send out 15,000 emails. That'd be really, really bad. The event we're going to do is we're going to send an email. We're going to send the welcome email. Add that in. So there's our event. We can obviously edit this if we need to. I don't even think we even need the description there. And if we wanted to, we could add additional things, like changing lists or tags, pushing things to a CRM if we wanted to. We're not ready for that, but we now have the trigger in place to assign these people to they should get the welcome email. We're going to hit publish this to make it go live. So now anyone submitting the form, the newsletter subscription form, will get 10 points. Then they will go from getting 10 points to getting the welcome email that will fire off and welcome them to the program. So that's one of the major pieces that makes this marketing automation thing work, because then what will happen is you'll get people who will open the welcome email, right? And we can go, and they'll get an additional 10 points if they actually read that email. And then hopefully they'll go to other places. We can obviously tune up that welcome email text. We could add or change, what links we share there, and certainly I may go back and do that at some point. I may also change the code on that to be not a fixed width, because that looks kind of silly. But for the most part, we're in good condition. This system is ready to begin testing. So we've got email, we've got a form for subscription, we've got the actions that we think are valuable. We've got triggers that are valuable. We don't use landing pages right now. I may do that in the future. We've got our leads and our lists that we've built in the past. And I think the web tracking, the web tracking is working. You can see the number of unique visitors from previous days. Got all the IP tracking there. If I wanted to, I could check out and see, how are the how the people doing inside of the system. I don't really need to do that right now, but we're ready to start testing. So in the next episode, we will run some tests. We will make sure that the system works. We'll set up a test list so that we can try things out without actually going live and sending tens of thousands of emails all at once. And once we have completed all of the testing and tracking stuff, we'll be ready to actually do the migration. So we will do all of the stuff and then turn off the old system. So we're almost done with this migration. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the next episode for testing.